What's going on, y'all? Matt in the hat, John North Ford Lincoln Nissan here in Emporia. It is time for Car Confessions. I come to y'all each and every week talking about some type of sales tip, tactic, or topic as it relates to the car business or sales in general. I also alternate in and throw in some interviews with entrepreneurs and small business owners to see what sets them apart, what makes them different from somebody that does the 9-to-5 grind and just punching a clock every day, and why they do what they do. This week, we're talking about referrals. This is episode number 51, and we're talking about the reasons referrals are so powerful. As many of y'all know, I did a short video the other day about referrals, about how powerful they can be and what they do. I wanted to go a little more in depth because I got a number of views and feedback from it. People asking a few more questions and wanting to go a little more in depth. I'm more than happy to do that. Let me start off by saying I do have a referral program in the car business. Now, for every person that somebody sends to me and they buy from me, I give that person $50. Whether that is cash, gas card, gift card, whatever they want, and they can use that however they see fit. Most people like cash because they can use it for gas money, groceries, beer, whatever the case may be. That's entirely up to them. But that's my way of thanking them for sending that person to me to do business with me, because they didn't have to. They could have not said anything, or they could have told them to go somewhere else. But that's my way of giving back and saying thank you. I appreciate you sending that business to me. I had people ask, what are referrals? How are they classified? Referrals, by definition, is directing somebody to a person or specialist, for example, in the medical field, that they trust or is knowledgeable. Now, referrals have a number of advantages. First one is trust. I just mentioned that. There's a higher level of trust because they have sent that person to you. It's easier if I use an example. So, for example, one of my previous customers, I sold about 3 months ago. She has sent me 3 referrals over the last 3 months since I've sold her and her daughter a vehicle. Her name is Shannon. She is an awesome, awesome lady. I love sitting down, talking to her, and every time I see her, she's very pleasant to be around. She's always positive, always upbeat, always smiling. That's the type of person, people gravitate towards her because of her personality, because of how she is. And she's just pleasant to be around. But I sold her and her daughter a vehicle, and just like anybody else, starting off cold as ice. She didn't know me, I didn't know her. I was asking her questions, in turn she was asking me questions, because it's a two-way street. You have to build that trust and rapport, not just me asking them because I'm asking for their trust, but they want to get to know me. And you have to be willing to make yourself a little vulnerable, so you earn their trust, they earn your trust. So because that trust is higher with referrals, they're going to recommend and refer you to people down the road. Now, why do they do that? Because they trust you, because they build that rapport with you, because they had a pleasant experience with you, because you're not an asshole. Whatever the case may be, it may be all of those. It may be one of those. Who knows? But the stereotype in the car business, you can't trust a car salesman. That's the way it's been for years. I'm trying to overcome that, do what I can. That's why I do the podcast. That's why you see me do the videos. That's my way of breaking that stereotype and showing people that I'm a person just like they are, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to trust me. And with that trust, you build a relationship. As I mentioned, you build that rapport, but it does build into a relationship. I have a great relationship with many of my customers. I won't say all because I'd be lying. I have a better relationship with some than others. Some I've sold a vehicle to and never going to see him again. Like I've sold one to a guy in Texas. I sold one to a guy in Florida. Chances of them coming back to me for a vehicle, not likely. I just happen to have the vehicle they were looking for at the time. May not be so lucky down the road. But because, I'll use Shannon again as an example. Because her and I have that relationship built, she sent me 3 referrals over 3 months. And she trusts me, so in turn, those people, the people she's referred to me, come in trusting me. Their defenses are down just a little. I would like to say they're down completely, but as I hit on, car salesmen don't have the best stereotype. So defenses are down a little. So that really helps, because that relationship is already somewhat established, and while it still may be cold not knowing that person, it's going to be warmer than just a random person you're walking up to on the lot. Second advantage with referrals, there are typically fewer objections. Now, that's not to say that you're taking advantage of the person or, charging them more. I'm saying that there are typically fewer objections. Why are there fewer objections? Because that trust level is already higher than it would be otherwise. That trust level is already there. I sold a referral yesterday at the day of this airing. I sold a referral yesterday, and just like many people, she was very price conscientious, and she didn't have a whole lot of objections. Why? Well, number one, she's buying from me. Come on now. Seriously, number one, that trust has already been established to a certain extent. But I asked her on the test drive, is this a vehicle that you'd be willing to own today if terms were agreeable? Yes. Perfect. If we can get it in your budget, the price range that you're comfortable with each month, would there be any other reason you wouldn't take this vehicle home today? No. Perfect. Let's go inside. Let's do some paperwork. If numbers aren't agreeable, I wouldn't expect you to buy it. Fair enough? She said yes. We went inside, did paperwork. I mean, it was just that easy. And it's easier to build value because the trust level is higher. That you're going to hear me refer to that throughout this whole episode. That trust level is higher, and that is so huge because their walls are down just enough that they're willing to take a chance and trust you. And the third reason that there's an advantage with referrals, the process moves a whole lot faster. So the average customer that comes in that's a fresh up, which is somebody that just walks onto the lot, never talked to them, never met them, first time meeting them, walking onto the lot. That on average can take 2 to 3 hours. The lady I sold yesterday was in and out of here in under an hour. Yeah. Less than an hour, we did the test drive. We talked, we agreed on all the terms, all the figures, and she left with a new car. Less than an hour. And it would normally take 2 to 3 hours because they're going to walk around the car. They don't know you. They don't trust you. They don't trust anything you're saying. What do people trust? People trust something they read. People trust something that you show to them. So whether that's you building value, giving them or showing them the history on the vehicle, telling them about yourself, whatever the case may be, building that value. And remember, for the salespeople watching this, you are the value. You're the value. That customer isn't just buying that vehicle. They're buying you. They're buying you being there for them. They're buying you answering their questions. They're buying, God forbid, they get in an accident and they have to go through this process all over again. So building that value is a lot easier and moves the process a lot faster. Sorry, had a phone call. Next option, or next advantage, is you step into an advisor role. You step into an advisor role because there is more trust, there's more rapport right off the bat. That customer is more likely to follow your recommendation than somebody who's not. Why are they more likely? Because they were referred to you by a friend or family member that's done this. They trust you. So why wouldn't that person trust you and listen to what you have to say? Now, this can be hard for a lot of people. I've had to have real talk with people, and I don't do it disrespectfully. I don't do it condescending. I don't do it to build up my ego and make myself feel good. I don't do it. I do it because people need to hear it. People have never been talked to like they have with me. Here's another example. I have a buddy of mine I used to work with. He typically has traded his car every 2 years, sometimes 3 years, never putting any money down, always financing the sales tax, and always making the minimum payment. Well, what happens after you do that 3-4 times? You're so upside down in a vehicle that you can't get out of it. And nobody's told him that by doing that, the value of that car is going to drop at some point, and you're going to be stuck with it. For example, the car that he was driving at the time, he owed a little over $25,000 on. With the year, make, model that it was worth about 12. Yeah, he was $13,000 upside down because nobody had ever told him that he couldn't do that, or it was going to catch up with him. And I sat him down and I told him, all right, real talk, no bullshit, you and I, here's a story. And I told him, if you're going to trade as often as he does, you have to put money down. You can't finance the sales tax. You have to make more than the minimum payment. You have to make at least 2 payments a month on it to get ahead and get over that break-even point to build some equity in the vehicle. Nobody had ever sat him down and talked to him. They just saw that he was coming in, wanted to get out of this car into a new car, didn't really care what the payments were, and just wanted it done. And they're like, hell yeah, I can do it. And they laughed all the way to the bank. It's not right. It's not how you do business. But by being that advisor, stepping into that role, people are more likely to take your advice and your recommendations. I've had to do that multiple times with people, whether they could get financed or not. I've had real talk with people that couldn't get financed within 3 to 6 months, depending on the situation. They came back to me and bought a vehicle from me because I sat them down and I talked to them. I educated them and told them what they needed to do in order to get a vehicle down the road. And they did it. Also, they're more likely to take your advice, especially if they're a referral, because the person that referred them had a great experience. They took your advice, so why wouldn't the other person? Makes sense, right? Before I move on to the last one, just to give a recap to you guys. So first advantage, first reason referrals are so powerful is trust. You start off with a higher level of trust, higher level of rapport right off the bat than just ice cold somebody you never met before. Number two, there are typically fewer objections. Again, not to take advantage or charge a higher price or higher fee for the referral. There are fewer objections because they were referred to you by somebody, so that person already trusts you. So they know they can trust you as well. Number three, it's a faster process. I mentioned that on average, it's a minimum, somebody that just walks on the lot, it's a minimum 2, maybe 3 hour process from start to finish. The lady that was a referral to me yesterday and I sold, she was in and out of here, including a test drive, in less than an hour. That saves her time, that saves me time. I had more time for customers. She had more time to get home and spend time with her family. Faster process, y'all. Number four, you step into an advisor role and have kind of an advisor status, because the person that was referred to you, whoever they were referred to you by, had a great experience, wouldn't send them to you unless they had a great experience and knew they would be taken care of. And because they were referred, they're more likely to follow your advice and your recommendations because the other person did. Finally, the fifth reason, fun. Referrals are more fun. Well, to be honest, I mean, working with me is more fun than working with another salesman. And if you don't believe that, ask a lot of my previous customers. You can find a lot of them on Facebook because I am friends with them on Facebook. I talk to them a lot. But referrals are more fun. They say girls just want to have fun. No, referrals just want to have fun. You just want to have fun because it's more fun for me as the salesperson, because I don't have to be so uptight. I don't have to be so formal. I don't have to be so rigid. So that prospect, that potential customer, is expecting to hear from you. They even want to hear from you a lot of times because of the experience they had or the experience that their friend or family member told them about. So they want to hear from you. They look forward to meeting with you, and you're going to hear it again, that trust level's higher. Now, it's more fun for that potential customer, that prospect, whatever you want to call them. It's more fun for them because their walls are down a little bit more. They can relax. They can be at ease a little bit more. They can be themselves, just like I can be myself as a salesperson. They can be themselves because they don't have to worry about dropping their defenses and their walls a little bit and being taken advantage of. So I hope this makes sense. I hope that you guys got at least one thing that you can take away from this video. I love doing these, and I love educating people, helping people out. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. If you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you like this, share this out. YouTube, subscribe, smash that bell, and get notifications when I upload videos. If you're listening to this on iTunes, or if you're listening to this on Facebook or YouTube, go to iTunes. Please leave me a review, preferably 5-star. If it's 1-star, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what you hate and what you would like to hear. But 5-star is preferred. Let me know I'm doing a good job. Let me know you like what I'm doing and you're getting value from what I'm doing. So thank you guys for watching this episode of Car Confessions. that's going to wrap up episode number 51. As is custom, I almost forgot. As is custom on Car Confessions, it's confession time. I didn't think of one before, so I'm putting myself on the spot thinking of one. Confession. These videos I like doing, but it's hard. It is hard to think of something. It is hard to come up with an idea, with an episode. So if you guys have ideas, recommendations, topics that you want to hear that I haven't talked about, or you would like me to update some information on, let me know. Because I spend the time each week to do this. I would love to hear back from you guys and, get a conversation going with y'all and see what you had to say and what you guys think. So that's it. That's my confession. So thank you guys for watching episode 51 of Car Confessions. Matt in the hat, John North Ford, Lincoln Nissan here in Emporia. I do this because your experience matters. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Be safe.